Yes. I was curious about how you approach topics that you're less familiar with, which is, part of what you do. Like you have to kind of get up to speed on the detail, on the research, as you said there, about what's essential and what may not be essential, and what type of preparation you do to achieve the clarity, but also having the depth when explaining these subjects.
So and there's probably a multi-stage process to how we approach a subject. And there's three of us who work on the videos. So if we're taking on a particular subject, all three of us would be doing these in different ways. As the first step, I would read as many general articles as I can, or listen to as many general podcasts, or watch any general videos on the subject, so I can get myself acquainted with the basics of the issue or the story as quickly as possible. But as I'm going through that process, I'll keep a note of the areas that I'm confused by. Could be big things, could be small things, or anywhere in between. It might be a factual question. It might be a conceptual question. It might be that I don't understand when a politician offers a particular defense for a policy, exactly how that adds up, and I want to understand it better. And so as I go through the process of gathering information, I'm also noting the areas I don't understand. And then as we note the areas we don't understand, we'll then go and research those as best we can. And as we do that, we might end up with more questions that we don't understand. So we're kind of constantly chasing our lack of understanding, if you like. And to do this well, being honest with yourself about what you don't understand is really important. We may then get to a point where we feel like we have quite thoroughly acquainted ourselves with the subject, but that there are nuances or particular issues that we feel that despite our research, we haven't understood as well as we want to. At that point, and this is where I'm very lucky working for an organization like the BBC, at that point, I'd think, well, who in the BBC knows this subject in great detail? And I'll email them or walk over to their desk and I'll say, sorry, do you have a couple of minutes to help me out? And of course, my colleagues are very generous with their time. And I'll say, look, we've done a lot of the entry level research on this, or even beyond entry level, but this particular issue I'm still confused about. And then they'll help us work our way through that. And one thing I might do on something like that is when I'm writing a section of a video on a particularly nuanced area that we've researched and we've checked and all the things you would expect, but I still want to be sure, I'll send that section of script to the person who I sought out and say, this is how I've described this particular area based on our conversation. Have I got it right? And hopefully they'll come back and say, yes, you have. And they may come back and go, you've almost got it right, but bear this in mind.